Hello, I'm going to talk to you about knowledge management today. So as you grow as a technology leader or as a seasoned IT professional or an architect, you're supposed to manage knowledge in large quantities, in medium quantities, in big or small, based on the business context that you are working. So knowledge management is a key part of any enterprise. So there is various kinds of knowledge that is lying in silos in various parts of the company, and it is as you start to manage the organization, it's quite important that get a grip on how to manage knowledge effectively. So if you are not able to do a good job of knowledge management, then the knowledge lies in silos. It is there in people's minds, it is there in people's inboxes, it is there in scattered around a lot of documents, a lot of repositories. And most often when we want something and we query for it, we search for it, the search is so ineffective that you don't get the knowledge at your fingertips. So knowledge management is quite key, and the traditional knowledge management is okay, you can have a wiki, internal wiki, or a Lotus Notes or a SharePoint that is hooked up in your servers and you store all the data within the company. So, but there is a concept called as an enterprise continuum, which can actually be looked at an advanced form of knowledge management, where you're going to connect not only information from within your company, but also your vendors and partners and your entire IT ecosystem. So if you are able to do that quite well, then you are able to talk the same taxonomy and the nomenclature across your vendors, partners, and internal teams. Is that not great? Because if you are on the same bandwidth, so all of you can gain and benefit from that, instead of somebody talking chalk, the other person talking cheese, so which is eliminated, and then it gives without any silos, you are able to intersect with all the business boundaries and get the knowledge management across in the systems quite well. So this is quite key to getting things done, and large companies use this quite effectively. If you see, take the examples of Oracle or Salesforce, for instance, or Toyota, for instance. So they all have an effective knowledge management system. So effectively what that does is it's a single repository of all the information that is there regarding their partners, vendors, and customers. So if you were to try to replace a spark plug in a particular model of a car, you just Google their database and then find out, okay, which is the wiring diagram for this, which is the part that needs to be replaced, and you get that on the fly. And once you have that details, you download. There could be a video that is there, so you just play that video and see it for yourself, that how you can actually replace the car spare plug without having to spend your time going to the mechanic and so on. So it kind of saves a lot of money to the customers, and the company is quite happy that they can acquire a large number of customers without having too many support centers, which might be a deterrent for the business model. So when Mahindra introduced their electrical vehicles in the UK, so they adopted this model that they will have an extensive amount of knowledge base that will help people self-service their cars, instead of opening too many service outlets every nook and corner of the country, and that might eat into their revenues. So that's typically knowledge management. If done effectively, it can solve a lot of problems. So if done effectively, it means you're ending up opening a support center in every city, every corner of the country, every corner of the state, and then that adds up to your operational expenses. So if you do it quite well, then you can have a common knowledge bank across multiple of your customers. Otherwise, typically in the outsourcing scenario, what that would mean is you're opening an offshore development center for every single client that you acquire, and that's not a good thing to do. So with what they say, less is more. With less resources, you should be able to serve more customers. So that actually brings into the fact that you need to have a product mindset as opposed to the traditional mindset wherein for every client that you acquire, it is an entire new ball game that you need to change the rules of the game and so on. But if you're looking from a product mindset, so you look like a generic product that you have, and then you're able to service all the lines of business with the same resources, same infrastructure, with very few variants in the game that would change. So that's typically knowledge management for you. And if done effectively, it can reduce a lot of operational expenses. It can break down the silos, and you can unify a lot of layers in the ecosystem with a good amount of knowledge management. And so effectively, knowledge management can, I've seen knowledge management being practiced in many companies, wherein you got knowledge management anchors, you got custodians of knowledge management, you got knowledge management trade show, or there's a knowledge management KM day, and then you have guardians of knowledge management. Then you actually encourage people to contribute to the organizational repository, and that will help you to build a good, robust knowledge management infrastructure. So I remember the cases when people used to bid for projects. They've cracked a certain customer in Slovenia, for instance, and then they say, okay, if you're going to another customer in the Balkan region or in a similar setup, they would say, okay, it's an entire kind of a rework. You need to look at which RFCs to ponder on, what is the kind of RSP responses that we gave. So if you have all of that at your fingertips, it becomes so much more easier to win large deals. What would take months together would be completed in a matter of 1 or 2 weeks, because you have it all stored. And not just storing knowledge management, knowledge is important, even retrieval is equally important. So you need to have an efficient search engine that will actually identify the keywords or the wildcards and get you back the knowledge management whenever you need it. So that's quite important for knowledge management to succeed. And a lot of companies have a lot of emphasis on knowledge management, so they encourage people to be knowledge management contributors, and if done effectively, this can actually kill organization silos and give you great economies of scale. So here is leaving you with this small tip on knowledge management and how you can progressively use this for becoming a leader, technology leader, and an architect in your journeys. Thank you very much. Do like, share, and subscribe for more such tips and tricks. Thank you very much.